The Old English Bulldog and the English Bulldog have a lot of similarities, but they have their sets of unique characteristics. Let's break it down and start with appearance difference. The Old English Bulldog is more muscular than the English Bulldog. The English Bulldog is not an athletic canine. For some, a walk around the block is extremely taxing. The goal of Old English Bulldog breeders is to produce an animal that can compete in common dog sports, such as agility, or accompany an owner on long walks. While wrinkles are part of the English Bulldog's appeal, as well as a breeding ground for skin infections, the Old English Bulldog skin shouldn't be excessively wrinkled. Most important, the Old English Bulldog's muzzle is longer and his nostrils wide. History. The Old English Bulldog is a crossbreed of the American Bulldog, the English Bulldog, the Bull Mastiff, and the American Pit Bull Terrier. It is a muscular, medium-sized dog breed that displays agility, strength, and stability while possessing a friendly temperament. The English Bulldog, also popularly known as the British Bulldog, Churchill Dog, and Bulldog, is a dog breed that originated in Europe. Initially bred for bull baiting, which was a violent sport back in the 1500s, the English Bulldog is a short, muscular dog that is extremely gentle, friendly, and protective of its human companions. Height and weight difference. The English Bulldog is somewhat smaller than the Old English version. Male Old English Bulldogs should stand 17 to 20 inches at the withers and weigh 60 to 80 pounds. Females should stand 16 to 19 inches and weigh 50 to 70 pounds. Training. Old English Bulldogs naturally want to please you and are an intelligent breed, so training isn't difficult. However, they are very strong, so it is vital to have a well-trained dog who is obedient to avoid any issues arising. Use lots of positive reinforcement for training and keep it fairly short, but often if you are training a puppy. English Bulldog is smart, but he can be a challenge to train even with easier tricks. That's because these pups prefer to think for themselves rather than follow commands. However, attending early socialization and obedience classes can ensure that your Bulldog puppy grows to be as respectful and mannerly as any other breed. You don't want a stubborn little guy like the Bulldog to end up with bad habits. Temperament. English Bulldogs and Old English are excellent family companions. They're great with kids and can do just fine in a multi-pet household if they're properly socialized as puppies. They do have a slightly higher prey drive, so you'll need to watch that if you have any cats in your home and correct the behavior early on. But English Bulldogs are highly independent. They can be stubborn and difficult to train. They are highly food motivated, so this can help when it comes to getting them to listen. Some English Bulldogs will be more prone to separation anxiety. Because of this, you'll need to make sure you do your best to create a relaxing home environment they don't look to escape from. Grooming. Both Bulldog is a low-maintenance breed that doesn't need much brushing. A gentle going over with a soft bristle brush a few times each week will be enough to keep your Bulldog's coat shiny and in good condition. Shedding increases during the spring and fall when you'll need to brush your dog a little more often. Bulldogs don't generally smell too doggy, so you won't need to bathe your dog too often. The most important part of your Bulldog's grooming regimen is to take care of his wrinkled face. You'll need to clean your Bulldog's wrinkles with a soft, damp cloth, ideally daily, but at least twice a week. After cleaning, be sure to dry the wrinkles gently. Moist areas amongst skin folds make the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, which could set up an infection. Food and diet. Both Bulldogs will eat anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 cups of dog food per day. These breeds are not one that can manage their own appetite, so you'll likely need to feed your dog at intervals throughout the day. This means that you can't free feed like other dog breeds. Free-feeding an English Bulldog will likely lead to obesity and other health-related problems. These pups can get chunky quickly, which does not help their overall health and longevity. Health issues. The English Bulldog often suffers from respiratory and cardiac issues, which can mean a shortened lifespan as well as huge vet bills. Old English Bulldog fanciers set out to improve the health of the breed. David Levitt, one of the developers of the Old English Bulldog, created the breed by crossing Bulldogs with Bull Mastiffs, Pit Bull Terriers, and American Bulldogs, a breed resembling the Pit Bull. These crosses allowed the Old English Bulldog to retain the good temperament of the English Bulldog, but also run and play and live a longer life. Are Bulldogs apartment-friendly? Both Bulldogs make fine apartment pets and do not require a yard. Typically low-endurance dogs, they need only a moderate amount of exercise. They thrive best in temperate climates. They readily overheat and have breathing difficulties in hot weather, and they chill easily in cold temperatures. Generally loud breathers, English Bulldogs tend to snore and wheeze. Many drool as well. They are moderate shedders, and their short coats require little grooming. However, the wrinkles on the face should be wiped regularly to prevent skin infections. Old English Bulldogs should be protected from the extreme cold and heat, although they are not as susceptible as the AKC Bulldog. Most Old English Bulldogs cannot swim and are averse to hot weather. Average lifespan. The average lifespan of the Old English Bulldog is around 11 to 13 years, while the English Bulldog typically lives for about 8 to 12 years.